Hi guys, in this tutorial today I am going to teach you how to make a DIY tripod for your DIY wreath ring light. Now full disclosure, you are going to need an old tripod to make this work. I picked mine up at like Goodwill or someplace like that for about $5. So just make sure that it's one that can that has the center rod that can be removed. That's the important part here. Otherwise, don't spend too much money on it. They're in abundance. You can find them pretty much at yard sales or wherever. So why I am doing this tutorial, I made one of those DIY wreath ring lights last year and it turned out great. I used a YouTube tutorial. I'm not going to teach you how to make this because there are tons of tutorials already on this. But once it got done, I realized that I had no way to mount it. And when I searched on solutions for this, I kept finding either zip ties where you zip tie your ring light to your tripod, which, you know, works, but you can't remove it when you get done. And I live in a small space. I want to be able to take it apart. The second one was using like pipes, like plumbing pipes, and creating a tripod out of that. And that just wasn't steady enough or feasible for me. Like it just wasn't what I was looking for. The third was requiring way too much sophistication in terms of tools and skills. I don't have those tools here. I don't want to make those investments for this project, so that was out. So I created my own solution, and I'm sharing it with you guys, and I hope that this is helpful for you. So the things that you're going to need, first of all, you're going to need an old tripod, as I mentioned. You're going to need a wedge anchor, and I'm going to show you how to actually measure for what size wedge anchor you need, but you can get these at Lowe's or Home Depot or your local hardware store. I use the Redhead brand, and mine was a 5/8 inch wedge anchor by 7 inch, and it was $5.27 at Lowe's. You're also going to need plastic standard pipe clamps. Mine came in a set of 10. They are by the brand HoldRite. They were a 1/2 inch and they were $2.88 at Lowe's. You are going to need a glue gun, maybe a towel to an old towel so you don't get glue on your desk or table or floor. You're going to need a tape measure, and you are possibly going to need some duct tape in case your glue isn't sticking well enough. It's always good to like have a backup just in case. The glue gun worked fine for me, but you just never know. So those are the items you're going to need. I'm going to list all the information below in the description, and let's get started. So I have my tripod, as you can see, and I've already removed the center rod from it. The next thing that you're going to need to do is get your tape measure and measure the opening. So for me, the opening is approximately 10/16 of an inch. So when I went to the hardware store, I realized that 10/16 isn't really a thing, but 5/8 is, and that's equivalent. So 5/8, if you remember back to your math days, 5/8 is equivalent to 10/16. 5 times 2 is 10, 8 times 2 is 16. So I looked for anchors that were 5/8 of an inch, and I found this wedge anchor. It was 5/8 of an inch, and I wanted to get one that was long enough to both attach to the ring light and also fit all the way through securely. So this is a 7-inch wedge anchor. So if you can see, I'm gonna put this in here, and it fits in well. It's snug, but I can screw it down, as you can tell. And then on the side here, there is a little screw, and that tightens it up. So once it's tight, it is secure. I can't spin it or anything anymore. So that is essentially what you want. I don't need a washer because I do have this screw and I'm able to tighten it. If you have any doubts, you might want to try a couple different sizes and a couple washers to go with it, just in case. Don't want to make multiple trips to the hardware store if you don't have to. So what you're going to need for this, you're going to need your DIY wreath light. If you notice, one thing I want to mention is mine looks a little bit different because I actually got insulation and glued it around the edges to create more reflection. A lot of people just spray paint foam and do that, but I thought this was a little easier, so that's what I did. You're going to need your glue gun. Mine's already heated up and ready to go. You're going to need these pipe clamps that I mentioned earlier. You're going to need your wedge anchor. You're going to need something that is going to hold the wedge anchor and the pipe clamps up. So once I put these pipe clamps on, when I glue it down, I need something that's steady here. My coffee mug is just slightly too short, so I stuck a magazine underneath it. And I have this ugly towel here, as you can see, because my glue gun will inevitably get glue all over the place. So that is my suggestion, have a dirty towel. And then I also have tape. This is electrical tape. I recommend duct tape, but just in case you need it, in case the glue isn't sticking well enough, it's always good to have a backup as well. So let's get started. I'm gluing the heck out of this. And you're going to want to push it down, obviously, and hold it down so that it is secure. So I don't know if you can tell, but I added additional glue. It's not the prettiest solution in the world, but you really want this wreath to be able to withstand the weight of the ring light and also the weight of the anchor, which is not light. So add as much glue as you think that is necessary. Doesn't have to be pretty. Mine certainly is not. And then just hold it for as long as you really need to in order for it to really cure. So as you guys can see, I've mounted it, and I did add tape to the over the top of the glue. I feel like since the anchor is heavy and the ring light is a little bit heavy, just a little bit extra, you know, security is a good idea. So that is done. I also pushed the screw down fairly far. That adds a little bit more security as well. It's a little bit more stable. So this is the back side, and then I'm going to turn it around so you can see the whole product. Ta-da! And that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you got something out of this, please like or subscribe. I'm hoping that I have more content coming to you soon. I have all the information about the wedge anchors and the plastic clamps listed below in the description. And if you have any questions, just hit me up in the comments, and hopefully I will be back at you soon. Have a great day.